What's up, Brian? What's up, Mom? Bro, what a night. Yep, we getting ready to kickstart Damn Good After Dark here. Just waiting on the boys to get on here. What's up, Zach? What's going on, buddy? All right, Dustin's in here. Let's get him on. We'll wait on Curtis. Hey, dude.
What's up, buddy?
Let me get you camera.
Yep.
There I go. Nice. Now we just wait on Mr. Rideout.
You work today?
Yeah, I worked till 5. What's up, Zach? Let's see. Hectic holidays, dead in hospital, covering everybody's vacation. Dead gummit. Oh, there's Curtis. There's Curtis. Let's see if we get him on the video this time. I'm excited if he does. Give me a sec. Curtis always behind.
Be cool if he's on here. Yeah, he is going to be live now.
Yeah, because I verified all that for him.
Yeah.
He said, give me a sec. I guess he's setting up your tripod, Dustin.
Oh, I hope so. Are you using it?
I'll tell Elle I said hi, Elle. Okay, send it again. God, man, really? You're killing me, Smalls. Hang on, I got to send him the invite as soon as he gets connected. Hey, there he is.
Hey.
Welcome to the land of living on TikTok.
Well, I was finishing my nicotine. I don't think you can do that on TikTok Live.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can.
No, you can't.
I don't want to risk it.
Oh, the biscuit.
Yep.
A terrible day at work.
So yeah, how was your day, bud?
It was fine. We had a few stops that were annoying. The thing that got me was we closed at 10, and about 8:45, a group of like 15 walks in. And they get our unlimited, and they're all trickling in. And then they decide to hit the snack bar at about 9:15 and bought like almost $400 worth of stuff. And Croft was in the bar trying to do that, and Nick's freaking out because like there's so much orders coming through. So I had to run back there and help him while still trying to catch the calls and everything. Long story short, the center is we have traveling seniors tomorrow, and me and Zach cleaned where they're going to be, and the rest is just a mess. But we're gonna have to go in early tomorrow. He's going to oil while cleaning the pits, and I'm going to be cleaning up tomorrow when we get there before they get there. It's just a mess. I'm tired.
Good Lord.
Well, but you look great seeing your face on here.
I look a mess. Thank you.
And also thank you for joining us because I know you're tired.
Tell Elle I said hi. I'll talk to Kyle. It says Elle says hi, Curtis.
Yeah.
In the flesh. So, Michael, have you done your intro from when you started?
No. We pretty much just rocking and rolling, man. We're going with it because, I was just waiting on you guys to get in here.
Oh, and yes, I am using the tripod.
I told you.
I actually used your tripod last night for, I don't know if you saw my stupid little Spider-Man TikTok, just because.
I haven't seen it yet. I haven't been on much today.
Michael, you saw it. It's stupid. I was like, I'm just going to do this real quick. And I put my Spider-Man costume on and hung out on the banister outside. It was cold as hell, too.
Dude, we should do something with Spider-Man and the Green Ranger on the lanes.
I'm down.
Sure. We'll do it.
You sound so thrilled.
Woo.
I think it could work. We'll see.
It might could.
It might could.
I'm gonna grab something to drink real quick.
Yeah, man. Get what you need.
Let's see. Yeah, see, look, Zach already beat you to it, Dustin.
What's that?
Request a moment of silence for Harry Doyle from everyone's fave Major League.
Actually, good call. That was on the agenda tonight anyway, so let's go ahead and do that because I dead ass said that to Michael earlier that we should do that. So, I mean, this is for the man.
What are we doing?
It was a moment of silence for Bob Euchre.
Oh, and I just messed it up. I'm sorry.
Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, so
Remember
Sean,
the
do
movie?
you ever-
What?
Remember the movie Major League?
Yeah, I remember it.
Yeah, he was the announcer for the Indians.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the one who
Here's a
goes
question.
just a bit outside. He tried.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Here's a question. We'll start with Mike. What's your favorite one-liner of his from Major League?
Here's the pitch. Oh shit!
There's so many good ones. I think my favorite to say is the just a bit outside. That's my favorite to say.
I don't know. I kind of like Serrano. He'll need a rocket up his ass to catch this one. That baby's gone.
I mean, just putting a dab of Jack Daniels on there when you're starting, that's genius.
Or like when he just woke up, he's like, bottom of the ninth, Cleveland down 1-0. Baker, he's 0-4. I don't know. Who cares? There's so many. There's just so many from that franchise.
I saw that movie way too young.
Zach leads the league in most offensive categories, including nose hairs.
Light your ass up, meat.
You know, it's just like, how do you throw 12 straight balls and then the power hitter gets up there and he throws it right down the middle and he crushes it? What's up, lawyer?
Now, how many of those have you guys actually seen, watched? Because they did like, what, 3 or 4?
He hit the camera, Dustin.
No. I turned this thing on, and I was looking right at it, and it just blasted me in the face.
I didn't know what your sudden movement was coming from.
It was this thing. I was trying your light thing out, and I was looking directly at it. It blasted me in the face.
Oh, man. Well, this first episode's getting off to a great start.
That was, I had no idea. I thought maybe what I was saying was boring or something, or we lost him. I was like, wow, he just really got out of this conversation.
No. Just a little retina.
He just. Let's see. I've seen them all around 100 times. Could probably word for word recite the original. Me too, Zach.
The first 2, I'd say. I watched the second one a lot too. But after that, was it Back to the Minors?
Yeah, the Back to the Minors was kind of eh. But
Once Scott Bakula got in there, I was like, I like you, Scott, but I'm not.
That's like when the catcher goes up to Tom Berenger or Jake Taylor, and I bet you're wondering how to get the nickname Rube. No, I got a pretty good idea how that happened.
That's still, I didn't realize it until this past baseball season that Cleveland is the one that became what in baseball?
What do you mean?
They're not the Indians anymore, right?
Oh, yeah, they're the Guardians.
Yeah, they're the Guardians. So I think you're from Cleveland. It hits home. How do you feel about the name change?
I don't care what it's always going to be Cleveland Indians to me, and it's always going to be the Washington Redskins for me, no matter what. I don't care. I mean, call it the Guardians and the Commanders if you want. Call it the Washington football team. I don't care. They're always going to be the Cleveland Indians and the Washington Redskins. That's it.
Amen.
See, even Kyle's a Red. Hail to the Redskins. Hey,
Yeah.
Miss Maya. So I just going to take this moment and say we want to congratulate Curtis. Curtis finally reached the threshold to show his beautiful face here on TikTok. So welcome.
This is a post-work face. I did not wake up like this.
But yeah, so welcome in, Curtis. Good job getting to 300 followers and everything else. So hey, Miss Maya. So basically, in a nutshell, y'all, this is Damn Good After Dark, and I am passing this over to my boy Dustin because he has the itinerary and everything we're going through.
I do. In fact, I've got it pulled up from first episode. The whole point that we're doing for After Dark was a place to have all the conversations that we don't on the clock at the alley or the center. You know what I mean? So That's why we started this show, because we're like, we need a place to talk about all this stuff. So not to say that we don't talk about bowling on here, but it's a place to talk about everything else. So that's the whole point of this. This is the second episode. And I'd forgotten about this, but I really liked it. How we actually started. Remember with the 4 pillars. Let's kind of do a check-in of how we're each doing physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Which is kind of rough. So I'll start with physically, and then we'll go around the horn, and then we'll go down each one. And obviously, feel free out there to chime in on this. That's why we do it, because we got everybody with us. So,
Dustin.
Oh, you're throwing me off.
I doubt it's going to do it on here. I guess that's a.
I don't know if it'll do it on TikTok.
Yeah, it won't do it.
I know, Curtis. We'll come back and try later. But physically, man, it's been kind of rough. But I'm finally moving again, which feels good. But it sucks getting old, man, because yeah, it's painful.
Mm-hmm.
Making strides with that, which feels good. So that's where that is. How about you guys? I know. Go ahead.
No, I'm pointing at Curtis.
Physically, up and down. I mean, earlier this week I was bedridden from my kidney stuff. So, and as of right now, I'm good. My back hurts though. My right knee hurts. My feet hurt. Post work, Curtis, right now, physically, no, not doing so well. But overall, doing better. Doing better.
That is good. Right now we're here. This is life.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry.
What, Curtis?
I said, and I'm hungry.
You're supposed to get something to eat before we did this. No, I mean I'm better physically than I was. Like I said, I was kind of down and out. You know, probably the last 2 or 3 weeks of the Sunday Night League with Curtis, I ended up tweaking my knee, and I couldn't bowl solidly for about a week and a half. And finally, this past Monday, I shot 776. I felt great throwing the ball. My wrist wasn't even giving me any problems. It's amazing how well you throw the ball when you're not hurting. So pain management is, I'm not taking as much. I used to pop those, the magnesium and the multivitamin. I'm not doing that as much anymore. I know I had a guy on here, one of my lives one night. He was asking me about what it was I taking a day, and I told him, I was like, well, I'm taking 380 milligrams of magnesium. He goes, dude, does heart disease run in your family? And I was like, yeah, on my mom's side. And he goes, dude, you might want to tone that back a little bit, because he noticed I was putting down bottles of water like crazy. He goes, dude, you're on your 4th bottle of water. He goes, is your mouth dry? I was like, yeah, I got the worst case of dry mouth ever. He goes, yeah. He goes, he's like a certified EMT. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to kind of take that and kind of slow that down a little bit. So, taking the vitamin once or twice a week. If I feel like if I feel like I'm going to have bad cramps or something, I'll pop a magnesium. But I mean, like I said, I rolled the ball really good Monday night, and physically, I am feeling about as good as I can for a 40-year-old.
Again, it's good to be up here, because we know pretty soon, tomorrow, next hour, something. So, who wants to start with emotional? How's your emotional state?
Let's let Curtis do it, since.
Ooh, throwing him under the bus. Well played, Mike.
I mean, throw me. I mean, actually, I can honestly say, emotionally, I'm actually pretty good right now. I was a little off kilter, and then some stuff happened yesterday, and I got to vent. And in that venting, I guess some of the other stuff just kind of came out in it. And since that, I've actually not been too bad. I mean, I guess I need to talk about it. But right now, emotionally, pretty solid.
It helps big time to be able to vent. Yeah, man. So many times when it does get rough, and then you have that chance to vent, and you're like, oh, shit, that helped.
Michael was laughing at me.
You what?
Michael was laughing. He was when I was venting. Michael was laughing at me.
Oh, no, yeah. It helps.
Once I started, I could not stop. It was just the floodgates opened.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you hold it in for so long. Eventually, that dam's going to break. Pun intended. Yeah.
That's another one we should start. Keep a tally how many times we can get that in there.
Right. What about you, Dustin?
I'm not doing too bad right now. It's been kind of a rough first start of the year that I wanted, but I'm actually on one of those up slopes right now, I guess. For me, it's kind of like that is in motion stays in motion, or what stays stagnant, man. And it's hard for me if I get in a stagnant phase, then that's where I get real low and I got to get out of it. So, but currently doing pretty good. I mean, again, kind of like you said, for a 40-year-old, but for the state of me, I'm doing pretty good right now, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, this week um, I'm all right. Now I will tell you the month, last month was a different story. I don't know. I still feel kind of a thing, there's a couple times when, I still think about Derek, and it just, it kind of overwhelms me a little bit, but then I kind of get myself in check, and then, then you just kind of think about it. And the only thing I really tell myself is it's like, hey, look, he's resting and he ain't suffering, which I had to tell myself that with my dad, but I mean, right now in the present, I'm doing pretty good right now.
And that actually kind of leads us into the third pillar, and that's mental. It's a real slippery slope, I guess, of the mental, emotional. You know what I mean? But those are certainly two that play right into each other. And we know that December was a really hard month for you, Mike. And but we'll talk about some good, not good that's come out of it, but something good on that note when we go over some stuff. But mentally, how do you deal with that when your emotions get in, especially something heavy like that? So mentally, why don't you start us off on that one?
Well, like how I handled that?
Yeah, or just how your mentality's doing, or how you the state, what you do to deal with it, anything you feel like, how your mental state's been.
I tend to isolate. I tend to isolate a lot. Like, I'll be honest with you, the place that I frequent a lot, when I go to that's the thing about it. When I go to that restaurant, and everybody knows I go to Baumhauer's because of everything. And I think it's funny because I go there now and all those servers come over and they sit like 4 or 5 deep where I'm at. And that actually helps make me feel a lot better about things. So it kind of tells me that, hey, I'm making some sort of difference in these people's lives. So that kind of helps me maintain a good sense of positivity. And, and not only that, it's like I leave work. If I'm stressed, I go there. I settle down for an hour and a half, 2 hours, couple hours. Hell, I'm there like closing the joint down with them. That's how close I've gotten with most of them over there. And I come home and I feel so much better. So just having that outlet helps. It's a healthy outlet too. It's not like you go somewhere and you drink your woes away and then you wake up and then you got to deal with them again, stuff like that. But it's just like you got semi-genuine people. And not only that, it also helps when they see certain bowlers that come into the house that you bowl in, and they hate them just as much as you do. So that makes it even funnier. I'll give you an example. So last night, the guy that was serving them, his name's Wyatt. He come up to me. I said, Wyatt, I said, those people over there that you're serving, I said, what do you think? He goes, those are effing assholes. Without hesitation. And I told Curtis today, I said, you know what? It's one thing when somebody says something about someone, but then you go somewhere else and then those same people, they say the same things you're saying. So it's kind of like, I kind of take that rule of two. It's like if somebody came up to me and I didn't know Curtis or you, and they're like, those guys are a-holes, I'd be like, okay. If I went somewhere and somebody else goes, no, Curtis is a good dude, Dustin's a good dude, and it kind of tends to muddy the water a little bit. So that right there tells me I'm going to go and actually get to know and then form my own opinion. But when multiple people come up to you and say the same exact things that we've said, it's confirmed. Oh, I'm definitely drinking some of those wells. Hey, Zach, do what you need to do, man. But just, I mean, everybody handles things differently. I'm just saying, like, I couldn't do those things. And I couldn't do those things. And my example of that is my dad came home way back in the day when I was a kid. He was very antagonistic towards my mom and I. And when he'd been at the bowling alley and had a few and everything. So it just kind of keeps that in the back of my head. Like, I just don't want to be like that. So we all have a choice, and those are the choices I decide to make. Sorry, I talked the thesis there. So
No, that's what we're here for. And I mean, that definitely does help too when you get to go and share your problems and see other people's. You know, I mean, that's what life is. That's what friends are. That's what it is to do, I guess. You know.
I think it's funny how that there's one girl down there. Her name's Mia, and I'm sitting there giving her like dating advice, and she goes, "How do you give such good advice and you're single?" And I said, "That's a great question." Sometimes I ponder, but then I'm like, maybe it's because the amount of experiences I've endured and I've went through and I've actually experienced, and you know. What about y'all? Well, what about y'all? Pat,
No, you're correct, and that makes sense. I get it. How about you, Curtis?
It's interesting. I don't know because the honest answer is mentally, I have no idea how I'm doing. Emotionally and mentally, I've always managed to separate the two, so I could be doing good emotionally and just tragic mentally.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't know. I haven't given myself enough time lately to ponder how I am mentally. Just kind of, I spend so much of my time making sure everybody else is mentally there, capable, and competent. That's one of my favorite words now, competent. But I guess I'm okay. I'm not hanging from the rafters yet. So, I mean,
I don't know your latest TikTok vid.
that was me getting some time to think.
I like how you're very agile, Curtis. I couldn't have pulled that off. I'd have split my pants or something.
You haven't seen it yet, Dustin. I'm perched on my railing outside in a Spider-Man costume. It's like when you need time to think. That's what the caption is. But it's funny because you say I'm limber and I'm perched, but you didn't see me climbing up there or getting down off of there because I cut those two things out. It was tragic.
I haven't seen it, but I'll never picture it without you smoking. I just picture Spider-Man smoking up there.
It was so cold outside. Every breath I took, you see it fogging in front of me. Does that count?
Oh, now I want to see a picture of you in the Spider-Man suit, back up there with a cigarette.
Oh my God.
That'd be fantastic. Even Spider-Man, who knows?
That picture, if he did that with a cigarette, it'd be like, Mom, I want McDonald's. We got McDonald's at home.
Spider-Man at home.
We got Spider-Man at home.
I got problems too, kid.
Mary Jane left me.
Man said he's coming back.
Why is it when I use my web shooters? God, I'm getting out of breath here. Ugh.
My web shooter's not working like it used to.
Oh, man, speaking of physically not going back, but Tuesday, I was running, sprinting up and down that center because some stuff was going bad, and everything that wanted to go bad had to be on 35 and 36. So I'm literally sprinting, and I was telling Amber, but I got back to the front counter, and my lungs said, "What the hell are you doing, Curtis?" I was almost killed over trying to catch my breath after 2 sprints. I'm like, God, I'm out of shape.
You were doing your job, damn it. Look at you. Willing to die for your profession.
It'll be cigarettes or AMF. One of them will get me first.
Both at the same time.
I refuse to let that place kill me. I refuse.
I got off way off topic. So, Dustin, how are you doing mentally? Or did you go first?
No, Mike started with us, so it was a good segue. And it's kind of funny. I'm like in the opposite end where I have too much time to ponder my mental state, you know what I mean? Which for me goes to like more anger and rage than anything else. So it's very easy for that. Again, like I mentioned before, if I get in a stagnant phase or whatever, that it's easy to get going, and then you know what I mean? Then I can be cynical again and this and that. So it's like, well, let's suppress that shit back down. So it's suppressed right now, you know, but too much time to think, man. That used to be the old joke. Like there's nothing more dangerous than a bored Marine or a bored infantryman, you know, they'll just do some stupid shit, funny stuff. But, you know, too much time to think, man, it can be bad for you sometimes.
The retired life ain't always the thing, is it?
Not always.
I'd like to try.
It's fun.
See, it's like
fun.
me and Curtis
Fun
are
for a
working
while.
too much, and you're not working enough.
Pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And then trying to figure out what is going to happen there because it's time to buy a house. So it's like, okay, because I have different things in the air. So it's like, okay, is it going to be a more of a regular 9-to-5 jobish type thing to get another just regular job and career going, or is it going to try to make other stuff pan out, or what's going to be the main focus now? So I don't know. Maybe time to just get another job.
Maybe be a door greeter at Walmart. That would be entertaining, knowing Dustin is the door greeter at Walmart.
I don't think I'd last as long as I did there at AMF.
Well, that's the point. Like, welcome to Walmart. Get your shit and get out of here.
I just sit there now, like now this sweet old lady, the one in Huntsville that I go to, she just sits, dude, like 90-year-old little lady just sits there with her legs folded and just, you know, smiles. And it's like, dude, all she does is sit there in a chair. And like, I mean, I wave to her being sweet and whatever. It's like, dude, you're just sitting there the entire time. Like, sitting there getting paid. Whatever. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion, Michael, but
No, I kind of meant that facetiously.
yeah, I know. Oh, let's see. Last one with that, and then we'll move on. Spiritually, how we doing spiritually?
I don't even know how to answer that question.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't have to be specific with it. If you have something to say with it, you can. If not, it's not a time to find your inner whatever. But
Yeah, that's where I'm spiritually. I don't know how to answer that question.
I've been kind of one and the same. I'm always, when it comes to spirituality, it's like indifference. It's just indifference. That's the best way I could describe it. Because I can tell you, I'm this kind of person where it's like, look, I know what I believe, but I personally feel like I have no right to push that off on either one of you or anybody else. So it's like, live and let live. I mean, seriously, like, I feel like the world would be a better place if we all just live and let live. You know, I don't know if and the thing about it is like the word tolerance. I think that word has kind of really been thrown around way too much. That it has a bad stigma to it, if you will. But I mean, you know, just like it's kind of like I told I told one of the girls the other night at Baumhauer's. It was like, you know, there's one girl, she's a lesbian, and I was like, hey, that's cool. I said, do what makes you happy. Like, don't worry about these people out here that are going to give you crap for it. Just be happy. Like, you're accepting who you are. You've made the choice. That's fine. Be happy. Like, I'm not going to pass anything off on you that's going to make you try to. I just don't understand why we make people feel bad for. And I mean, again, let them live their life. Live and let live. I think it's pretty simple.
Yeah, but people make other people feel bad because of their own insecurities.
Yeah, and I just don't. No, Brian, you send me a message on Messenger. Let me know what's going on, man. We ain't doing that. I'm here for you, brother.
Not to interject, but I was actually thinking about the question while Michael was talking. And actually, I would say spiritually, I'm doing a little better because yesterday I got home early from work and I just sat down after I shot my stupid TikTok, which was just fun for me. I played my piano, and doing things like that, doing my piano or writing, that kind of feeds my soul. And it was, so actually, I think I'm doing a little okay spiritually because I actually took the time to do the thing that feeds my soul. So
I was actually going to ask, but it was way off topic when we very first started, if you had been playing the piano. But I didn't want to put you on the spot because we talked about that several months ago in one of the shows that you were getting back into the piano. So I was going to ask how that had been going.
The gym is your piano, Zach. I wish the gym was my piano because I used to work out a lot, and I feel like if I started working out again, that would actually help me spiritually a lot too. That gets out a lot of frustration.
Well, yeah. I mean, but the thing about it is it comes down to one word, and it starts with a D. It's called discipline. and nobody. I mean, you could talk about it, but it's about being about it. Like everybody can sit there and say, "I'm going to the gym. I'm going to do this. I'm going to lose 20 pounds." Okay, cool, but do it.
So Dustin, how are you doing spiritually?
With that, hang on. I want to have a comment on what you guys were saying in the gym thing. Yeah, gym. When I was working out, it used to be my sanctuary, and I think that's the key. That figure out what your own sanctuary is, whether it's the gym or piano or running or walking or painting or whatever. Find your own sanctuary and allow yourself peace in that sanctuary for whatever allotted amount of time in the day. It's so easy to say, "Oh, no time," and this and that, and blame other excuses. Like Mike, you said, discipline. But whatever your sanctuary is, embrace it from time to time, even if it's just for a few minutes a day. Even if it's just walking by and you stop for 30 seconds and play something. You know what I mean? So I think that's very important. And if you haven't found what your sanctuary is, then you got to look to find it. You know what I mean? But that just popped in my head from that conversation of you guys. I wanted to say that.
Defend your allotted time, your time allotted for your sanctuary.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Basically, what he's saying right there is like, look, your time is your time, and don't allow anybody else to take over that allotment.
That goes back to the first episode about respecting your own time.
Yeah, and that goes into respecting yourself. Mm-hmm. Hey, Jamie, welcome in.
And being comfortable and being willing to set your own boundaries. You don't set your own boundaries, other people will.
Oh, yeah. Definitely still learning that.
Yeah, it's crazy how subtle you can take charge in that type of stuff. Chris Voss, I don't know if anybody's familiar with him, but I see a lot of his stuff on TikTok. I've read his books and such. Negotiator and all that stuff. Just he was saying something on that today when he was a suicide prevention hotline guy. He got some experience in that, and just because you'd have people that would call in and that weren't necessarily suicidal, they were just seeking attention. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And he'd be like, you get trained on how to decipher that right off the bat, and instead of wasting. It's tough, and especially something like that, but instead of wasting hours on this person that's just there for that attention and da-da-da-da-da, that can really easily use you just through the language. And so he said when he was confident in his own ability to sniff it out, somebody had called in and said, "Hey, can I talk to you about this?" And he's just like, it clicked right there, and his response was, "I'll talk with you about what you need to talk about." But just a simple difference of talking to and talking with. I didn't mean to go off on a rabbit hole there. I hope that makes sense. But boundaries, man, is something that can easily be run over if you let people do it, and they will. Sorry again. I had to.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Hey, Chatty, welcome in.
And that wasn't a deflection for me answering. I'll answer. Especially, I guess, getting closer, making slow progress. I mean, I believe that there is progress, and I think a lot of times it helps me. That one, which I try to do, tie that into my mental and emotional state as well. Somebody hit a jackpot.
Yeah, I got my goal. Sorry about that.
Boy, I like it. That was pretty much it. It hit on the right at the end of spirituality. We got the cash. Boom. So I think small strides, Yeah,
just, like you said, finding something you do, whether it's just, getting on here. I really think that's another reason why I liked starting the podcast when we did for DGAB, is because it was a way it was kind of an outlet for me to be able to talk about things and rationalize things and what have you. Chatty, these are my business associates / best friends. Dustin, Caps Wisdom up here, and Kilandi90 is Curtis. And she is sending TikToks to you both, I believe. So thank you for that, Miss Chatty. Chatty in this chat. Chatty is one of my favorite video game streamers on here.
Oh, nice.
She plays a lot of Mario. I found her when I was looking up people playing Zelda, and I took a liking to her format because she's got an awesome format. And then she was getting stuck on some of those shrines in Tears of the Kingdom. So I was sitting there in the chat going, all right, here's how you solve this, blah, 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 blah. And then she shows me how to play the new Super Mario games, which I've never played. But so, yes, there you go, Chatty. Like I said, Curtis and Dustin.
That's awesome. I've always sucked at video games. I'm pretty sure I've told you guys this before. Like, even I got a Nintendo when they first came out in like 1987 with the Mario and Duck Hunt. And I just, whole life I've sucked at video games, so I get bored. But it's fun to watch other people play sometimes. And so I rabbit hole that gamers. Like, there's so many good documentaries on gamers and like speed play. And like, dude, I was like, holy crap, I did not know there was this much in the gaming world now. And it's pretty cool. Welcome. Nice to meet you. So
I'm replying to Brian here. I just want him to know. Look, here's the deal, Brian. Just bro, we are here, man.
Yeah.
So, talk away in the chat, and we'll get to it, my friend.
Yeah. When I got that in Mario and Duck Hunt, and my dad, I remember him in Mike Tyson's Punch Out. That was the first game I bought, other than what it came with. And I would get a few fighters up. I'd get up there, but my dad never beat Glass Joe.
Glass Joe. Wow.
Oh man.
You still don't know how Duck Hunt worked.
But I remember watching them play. I never really played Atari or remember playing Atari, but I remember watching them, the little thing you'd hold like that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
The NES, the Nintendo, that was my first one. And Duck Hunt and Super Mario Brothers, the first one. And Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I remember being too young to really play it, but I remember watching my dad and my cousin play that game. And I remember when they first beat Mike Tyson, you would have thought, I mean, they hit $1 million. They were
hit the lottery.
Down, screaming.
Man, we are aging ourselves. Yes, we are, Jamie. And
I had the code to go right to him. I eventually got the code just to go right to Tyson. Dude, I never even got close to beating him.
One touch and you're down.
Yeah.
And now, speaking of those gaming documentaries, there was this one, I forget, but it was Tyson. Two dudes played together, one controller blindfolded, and they beat Tyson.
Oh, God.
See, when that stuff happens, I'm just like, you know what, F off. I'm not even, I'm angry now that you take what was hard for me and make it so trivial that you're blindfolded using your senses to beat the game.
But imagine that. You're on one side, and it's two people. They have to know what's going on the one controller. So, yeah, I saw them like, man, I suck.
I remember, Michael, I was on with you when I was playing Elden Ring, and I was cussing and screaming at
Yes,
there
you
were
are.
people that beat that game with a Guitar Hero controller, playing it with their feet. And I'm like, you know what? I have a life. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Well, I mean, like, again, it's unreal. And I know Chatty, she was talking about trying to start working on practicing, doing some speed runs and everything. But I watched a video. Actually, my buddy Bertram, he actually brought me to this guy. I think his name is like Swaggy82 or something on YouTube. And he holds the world record for the original Ninja Turtles game on Nintendo. We're talking like the hard one. And he beat it in like 16 minutes and 32 seconds. And I'm like, dude, this is insane. And
I still have trauma from the swimming levels and that, getting electrocuted in the swimming levels.
Yeah, well, here's the thing about that, okay? Like, he literally hit reset, and you hear them doing the theme. It's going, and as soon as it gets loud, he hits the start button, and it affects the timing of like where the enemies are and where you're walking and all that. And that's what Bertram was telling me, and I was like, dude, like, you know what kind of like witchcraft or mind, like what kind of stuff you've got to know. Like, I mean, literally, these guys and gals practice going, like, practicing what moves and everything. So it's just insane how that works.
Have you guys seen the South Park Guitar Hero episode?
Yes.
That was a good one. Pretty funny, dude. It just popped in my head. I had to mention that because I was thinking about it.
Congratulations, you have amassed 1 million points. You are.
I'm not saying it.
I'm not either, because I don't.
All right. So, and then you got, I don't know if you planned ahead and you got anything to literally bring to the table. We can do that one next. But the first bring to the table, Michael, you've got a couple.
Oh, yes. I
Do
do.
you have a preference on which one you want to start with? It's up to you, my dear man.
Okay, so you guys, everybody out there knows how I feel about just bringing anything political to the forefront. But this whole little TikTok subject and everything has brought it to the forefront. I find it very humorous that everybody wants to learn Mandarin all of a sudden and go to Redbook.
Pretty funny. Those are pretty funny.
But here's the funny thing about that. Like, you have to recognize the Chinese Constitution. Like, they literally put that in there when you download that app. That's what I've been told. I haven't done it personally, but that's what I've been told and what I've seen by videos on here. But the only thing I'm going to say that really I'm just going to say it for what it is. Like, I'm not even going to say grind at my gears because that would be humorous. This really just griped my ass. And it was like one senator from Arkansas got on there and he was just spewing like, this is a threat to national security. This is this, and this. And he was just sounding like a big bad MFer and everything. And it just pissed me off. It's like, look, bro, like LA's on fire. I mean, you know, you got other things happening here. Eggs are like freaking $4 to $5 higher in other areas. We got more problems than, we need to worry about potential national security or whatever the crap may be. I don't personally find it anything. I really don't. But it just really griped me. And again, like I said, I'm not a political person on here because I don't like to be, because I like being able for everybody to feel like, I want everybody to feel welcome. But this right here just took the cake with me. It's like, look, we got a buku of people on here that some of these people make their living doing this stuff. And when I say making their living, like, they got 3, 4, 5 million followers, maybe more. So, you know, they're constantly live all the time. Like, what we're doing right here ain't nothing for what some of these, you know, creators are. And again, they have other outlets, but not just the fact that, I get paid a little bit on here, but these people, some of these people is their livelihoods. So I think it's just a little bit of an overreach on the government's part, you know. See, look, like Chatty right here says, I saw this lady's going to lose her rent money, basically. I mean, here we are talking about certain topics, doing Damn Good After Dark. We do the Damn Good Average Bowler podcast, and we have a good time. Like, that episode we did last time, y'all, that was a really, really good episode. I got awesome feedback from it. It was like, it was just something about it. I personally think it was the T-shape setup.
Yeah, I asked my mom about that too. I didn't tell her anything because she had watched it, and I just asked what she thought of the table setup because I didn't want to give a bias. You know what I mean? Hey, what'd you think? We really liked it, blah, blah, blah. She's like, hey, what'd you think? And she said basically everything. I didn't mean to interrupt, Michael.
No,
got a thumbs up from my mom. So proceed, because hers was the same input that you're about to share.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just like, we're out here just, and again, like, Damn Good Average Bowler is educational. It's comedic. That shows by all the awesome dad jokes I do with Curtis, and I know he enjoys them, whether he likes them and whether he gives the little faces that he's giving right now. They're great.
I am, not to interrupt you, but I am so glad they can finally see my facial expressions now. just for moments like this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it was great. The other one the other night, I was cackle laughing about that.
When you made a picture?
Yeah. No, I made the picture and the video. The joke was great. It was great. It was like perfectly delivered. It was perfectly received. And see, I'm with Zach too. Like, I don't think it will either. Somebody's gonna come in through in the bottom of the ninth, and like Elon's gonna do what he does, and he's gonna be able to throw his log around saying I'm a big bad MFer and you guys get to keep it because of me, which is fine. And but again, that's the first thing. Do you want me to go into the other thing, or do we want to save that for later?
Not yet, because that's on this. Let's have the talking point with all of us. Curtis, you can chime in also on this, whether it's being taken down or not. I don't think it's going anywhere, man. I think all of this is it's causing a lot of funny the Chinese memes and all that stuff. I don't think it's going anywhere. What do you think, Curtis?
I think it's just a talking point to distract. It's not going anywhere. It's just they can tout it about, they can pretend like they're doing something while everything else is not getting done. Ain't nothing gonna happen with TikTok.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And so I guess just to share with everybody, our perspective from DGAB, because we've talked about it, is we're proceeding as normal until TikTok is no more. Because there's been a lot of this before about it's going away and blah, blah, blah. So we are just doing what we do on TikTok until it is gone. In the meantime, Michael, make sure you tell them to follow us on YouTube on DGAB over there.
Yes.
Because if it does go away, that's, I think, going to be our main. But, yeah, I don't think it's going anywhere.
Yeah, Dustin's right. Check out the YouTube channel. Just go in the search bar, type Damn Good Average Bowler. Logo and everything are the same. Avatar is the same, whatever you want to call it. Whatever I've been posting here on TikTok, I've been posting over there. I do like the fact we hit the 500 subscriber milestone, which is great. So now I'm looking forward to trying to get us to 1,000. That's the next goal there. And, you know, the good thing about YouTube is subscriptions are free. So please subscribe to the channel. Definitely doing a lot of shorts. And, you know, it's kind of my thing. It's like I've noticed that the shorts catch fire a little bit. The actual videos, they may get 70, 80, 90 views, which, all right, McFluffiest, thank you. I appreciate that. You know, they get some views and everything, but I really think it comes down to just like, you know, again, social media influencer, creator, content maker, whatever you want to call it. Y'all, this is a lot of damn work. This is a lot of damn work. And I think that's another reason why I'm so flustered at this potential ban is because this is our biggest, you know, this is the following I've amassed the most on out of all of them because this is where my focus has been because I've gotten used to the format of, thank you, McFluffiness. Thank you, Chatty. Love you guys for that. Thank you so much. But I've gotten used to the format here, and TikTok saves the videos on your phone, so you can distribute them to your other outlets. Like it's easy for me to upload it to YouTube Shorts. It's easy for me to put it on Lemon 8. It's easy for me to put it on Instagram or Facebook. Well, you can't really do it on Facebook because Facebook really hits you hard with the music stuff. They're very strict about the music and stuff, so it's fine.
Not to interrupt you, but Zach, you're getting a thank you whether you want one or not. Thank you.
Yes, you do. You do get, everybody gets a thank you. And so, I mean, but that's where we're going to move everything towards. And if that's what it comes to be, but I'm like you guys, but it's just, the thing about it is, it's just like, there's something about a government official telling me what's best for me. I just don't like. And I don't care whether you're left, right, up, down, whatever the case may be. I don't care.
You did freeze for 1 second on my end. I don't know if I got frozen or anything.
He froze on my end too.
Am I back now?
Oh, you're good.
Back now, but it was I'd say it was about a 4-second freeze, and it was a great face too. You were like mid rant.
Maybe they were listening to me rant. I don't know.
I don't like it when
Sit him down.
That's right.
I don't care, but it's just like, I'm sorry. There's just something about them telling me what's best for me that I don't like. And again, did I get shut down again?
No, I'm just listening. I'm here.
Okay. But that's my whole thing. That's just how I feel. Like, it's we the people. You don't tell us what to do. We tell you what to do.
What's up, Tiffany?
You're working for us. Okay.
It was so funny when I was active duty because people used to always ask me, what's going on? Like all of the big events in the 20 years that I served, they'd always ask for like, what's going to happen? Are we da-da-da? I'm like, I know less than you do. I know when you're active, what's going on. You're such a low denomination below reality that you have no idea what's going on. It was almost easier that way. But I did want to chime in also on YouTube. We were talking about YouTube for DGAB. I'm not actively putting anything on there, but if you want to see some of my old comedy when I hosted the show in North Carolina at Patty's, I've got a lot of my old comedy sets on there. The guys, I think I've seen some of them, but there's quite a few on there. Again, I haven't put anything on there new, but you want to see some of the old shit talking, go check it out also.
I feel like a jackass. I don't know if I follow you on YouTube.
But
I
also,
some of my sets.
To see Dustin without a beard, too.
Yeah.
You'll be amazed.
It was pre-beard. And that's where the suit stuff started. That's where I started wearing the suits, was comedy and then my podcast that I was doing back then. But that was fun, man.
I didn't see the YouTube stuff. I looked at your podcast on Spotify.
Oh, yeah.
We were first getting acquainted. I looked at that stuff. But what's your YouTube name?
I think it's Check Cap's Wisdom. It's going to be the same suit. It's the cool cigar lighting with the bling and ring picture. Is that what it is? Is it Cap's Wisdom?
Mike, are you looking?
Oh,
I
this,
thought you were, Curtis.
yeah, no, No, see, Chatty says, "Oh, this is the suit guy from your videos." Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes, ma'am. That is Dustin, the suit guy.
I'm
Oh,
suit
the
guy.
suit, the beard.
And an empty glass.
Yeah.
He's the suit guy from the videos. I'm the black guy from the videos.
With the GameStop hoodie.
Yeah.
I had to go get my DGAB hat because Dustin was wearing one, and I didn't want to be outdone.
I almost wore my beanie down here, but
Oh man, it looks like oh man, I had you guys confused.
well played.
Oh, well played, Zach. Well played. I thought he looked familiar. Yeah. Chatty, he's the one that I have to bleep out when we're doing the blooper reels. Expletive. Oh God. No, boys, this is again, I just that's and again, I'm holding off on the second one. I'm gonna let you like segue me into that, but y'all fire away. Like I pretty much said everything I could. I said everything I could, and to be honest with you, I said it in a way that I didn't really want to go as nuclear. I'm kind of going to save that for the second one because I'm a little bit more passionate about the bowling topic that we'll get into when y'all tell me it's my turn.
I mean, I agree with what you said, and I'm not going to get started because
You're going to go down that pigeonhole?
Yeah. So I don't.
You already know how I get, so I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Yeah. But so, Michael.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to? Are you ready to start your second one?
Already? What about y'all? Don't y'all have something?
Go ahead,
No?
Michael. Go ahead.
No. What y'all?
Actually, before we get to that, we were going to start with a review of kind of the latest with what's going on with the DGAB.
Yeah.
Let's do that real quick. So, basically recapping our latest meeting from last night. A lot of you guys have been asking for the next DGAB jersey. Well, it is very close to being ordered. I was very surprised last night in our conversation how quick we were able to get that piece of business done.
Mm-hmm.
I did not think we would even be having a basic finalized idea from that conversation yet. And then we basically finished with knowing what our next two jerseys are.
Mm-hmm.
So does that make sense? I just going in, I didn't have any expectations, you know what I mean? Like, hey, let's talk about the next jersey. But then, I mean, in 15 minutes, we knew what our next two were. I was not expecting that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, we're kind of becoming a more well-oiled machine. Oil, machine, bowling, get it? Ha, 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 ha.
Damn, you got me with that one.
Damn, I did. Yeah. It's fine, Curtis. I don't look. You know what? I don't. You know what? It's like Ricky Gervais says. You know what? I don't care. I'm done after this anyway. I'm done. I'm gonna say what I want to say. You ain't gotta like it. You don't have to like me. I don't care. But I'm telling the truth.
No, the problem is you're not done after this. You're not done. There's going to be more. There's going to be a lot more.
What's wrong with that? See, if anything, me doing the dad jokes, I was just trying to help catapult. Now people associate the dad jokes with the looks on Curtis's face. You're welcome.
His avatar. Oh, and by the way, that's Harry Beaver behind Michael. Is who that is. He was talking about him earlier and said whatever you want to call him. That's our mascot, Harry. What about the dad? I think if you make a Curtis logo with the side eye for a dad joke shirt, that could happen down the line. I'm just saying.
I got the perfect picture for it too because I screenshotted that shit last night.
You guys are getting to see the gears turning right now, how it works.
That's right.
But no, we've got a couple of renditions. That's where we're at in the process of that. Mike and his guy are so fast on that. It's awesome. So we're very close to having it ordered. And then within what, like 3 weeks after the order?
Yeah, 3 weeks to a month, 3 to 4 weeks, and we should have them. And we still have some of version 1. And Curtis, are you that cold?
Yes. My girlfriend likes it cold in the house.
Cold-blooded.
Yeah. No wonder he doesn't laugh too much. He's cold-blooded.
Speaking of cold-blooded, I hear the tortoises moving around a little bit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, they're doing good.
Okay.
So just to let everybody know, the 2.0 jersey's coming out, I'd say, about a month, maybe?
Month and a half at the latest.
And then we know of one we will be dropping October timeframe, so more to follow with that. I'm excited about that. I didn't expect that outcome again. So we finished up, and I was like, wow, that was cool.
Yeah, we're gonna, and I do believe that that third one was going to be a limited run.
Yep.
So just guys, stay tuned for that, and you might be one of 20 or one of 30 or one of 15. Who knows? Who knows how many we're gonna get?
A limited, and I'd even say limited edition.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm not trying to derail, but Michael, like when your head was like slightly to the left, it looked like you had a halo around your head, like in those old like French paintings or something.
Mm-hmm. Like
Right
this.
there. Like
Oh, if you duck down a little bit, you got devil horns. You can move your head. We up just a little bit.
there.
Damn. I'm gonna try this while you guys are talking, but I'm gonna try to change the background.
Okay. We'll talk about the episode, the next DGAB.
I hate you. Why do you have that so readily available?
Yeah, he had that ready.
I did. Oh, that's freaking great. Oh, God.
I was so ready to keep talking, too, until I saw that. I didn't know.
Oh, God. Oh, me.
What were you saying, Dustin?
I didn't know there was a sequel to Sling Blade coming out. What I was going to say. Sorry. The next podcast. This is almost like, I was trying to think in my head earlier what this one would be, and 2-1 popped in my head because it's kind of season 2 or year 2 for us doing it. Yeah. Episode 1 next Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
With our young little Michael.
The underdog.
The underdog story.
Yes.
The
Michael
underdog story is joining us. Go ahead, Mike.
Michael McAnally.
Who just tell us why he's going to be on the show.
So he is going to be on next Saturday night at 7 o'clock. We will be going live from TikTok Live and YouTube. And we're going to have him in the studio. And we're going to talk about if you guys didn't get a chance, if you didn't get a chance to watch the entire stream, you can watch the first probably hour and a half of Dustin with George. That was some interesting commentary for sure. Very quick to the point because there was only 2 of them on the pair.
Yeah, that was fun going with George.
But the round of 8, the semifinals and the final, they were must see live stream if I do say so myself. But the thing about it is like, and Dustin, you were sitting there. At first, Dustin was giving me flack for like, oh, I don't know why you're calling him the underdog. I don't get it. And then he finally I was like, dude, like this guy doesn't think he can win. But then the turning point in that is when he took on the number 1 seed and he goes, I beat him before, I could beat him again. So you're talking it into an existence. And it's one of those things I always tell people when I'm working with them in lessons and such. It's like, y'all, like you can. You just got to believe. You got to. It starts with you. It starts with you.
I love to seeing him win because he always puts a lot of pressure on himself.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you talking about the kind of pressure that Curtis put on himself during the final night of the DGAB League? Yeah.
Dude, I thought I was gonna pass out. I literally did. I wasn't breathing. My blood pressure was shot. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna pass out."
Mike had the second chamber loaded ready too.
Mm-hmm.
Next one starting though, we start on. Oh man.
I literally saw that stop myself from doing that thing with my tongue.
See, Dustin thought it was some dip.
I knew it wasn't, but that's why I said that my first response to that was like, look like you got a big old fat lipper in there.
Yeah, I kind of like what the caption contest on Facebook that Brian put on there. And he was like, "This is secretly funny. I'm just not showing you that it's funny."
And the funny thing is, I see that picture. I didn't know I was doing that. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm my father. Because he used to, when he was mad when we were younger, like, oh my God.
Keep that skull, baby.
Right, Dad?
Oh, this one's going to be clipped. This is going to be clipped and posted. Oh my God, dude. Perfect. Curtis, you're great, man. You're great.
We love you. And it's apparent that you love Michael since you let him do this to you.
I didn't let any of this happen.
Oh man.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That look was not consent. It was, I turned around. It was like, oh, Curtis, guess what? I'm like, oh, God.
The next item that we're going to talk about, and I'm going to hand this over to you, Michael, which I always love being a part of big events, and I love when there's something that means a lot to somebody that means a lot to me.
Keep going. I'll be right back.
Okay. So this one, it was clear from the first time you opened your mouth about it, it meant a great deal to you. And I think that's one of the first things you said too, is like, this is going to be big. This is going to be a big event, and it means a great deal to you. So it means a great deal to me to be a part of it. And it's going to be awesome, man. Because like I said, I like big events, but especially when they mean a lot, you know? So you already know what I'm talking about. It's going to happen in May. So why don't you just give us kind of a rundown on that?
Before I do that, this is kind of like the first. This is also another one of these things that I am planning on doing as well, and I just want to do this briefly, and then we'll go into that. But March 16th is another day. It is coming up March 7th for those of us at Parkway Lanes, which was our home before the Palace. We are well, it's not really a celebration. It's more like a mourning, but it has been 10 years since the AMF Parkway Lanes fire. And I had brought a tournament to the forefront at the Palace after that fire called the Parkway Memorial. And needless to say, I think this is kind of like Curtis's infancy as an employee of AMF, and he really got to see just how much this drove me bonkers. So I ended up getting out of it for a while. But I got to thinking, I was like, you know what? It's been 10 years since the fire. What better way than to reboot it for one day only? So on March 16th, we are going to do the Parkway Memorial Tournament. And it's an important tournament, too, because this leads into the next, which was what you originally asked me, because Derek was very much a part of AMF Parkway Lanes, if not one of the big deals of Parkway, because he was there 8 days a week practicing. But the big thing we got going is the Derek Tate Memorial Tournament happening on May 16th, 17th, and 18th. Big stuff going here, y'all. Like I said, we are putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I've got the flyer ready. I just sent it to the guys here, and I was like trying to get them to proofread it, make sure, you know, I didn't misspell anything, or if there was something that didn't make sense, you know, kind of go back and maybe re-explain it if I need to, whatever the case may be. But we are very close to having a flyer for this, and you know, it's kind of been on the ball. It's actually just been on the books of the book of ideas we all had since, you know, as much as I hate to say it, but ever since Derek passed. I knew that this was something I was wanting to do. And thank you, Curtis, for helping me achieve the goal. Thank you, buddy. But it's the response I have gotten from it. Darren, thanks for the likes. The response I've got from it from the TikTok community, those that have really been in here, been avid supporters of the brand since, day one ish. Some of them are talking about, hey, we're actually thinking about making a trip. And we're talking like New Mexico, Florida, Texas, stuff like that. And it's just, this could be this could be our, this could be the WrestleMania of Damn Good Average Bowler. We're going to call it Stark. We're calling it the Starcade right now because of, we want to keep expectations tempered, of course. But this is just one of those many things that it is a very big deal to me. And I take not only as a fact of, Derek was all of our friends that met him. Okay, he was really good friends with everybody he met. There's not been one bad thing ever said about it. I think Dustin, you made that comment in the DGAB episode last Saturday. He's like, I never heard anything bad about Derek. Couldn't say anything bad about Derek. He's just that damn good of a person. And again, it's just very important. Not only that, but it's kind of like when his widow, they were laying him in the ground, and she comes to me and she goes, I really want you to put something together that is really gonna, keep his memory alive. And I knew exactly where I was going with it. I knew what was going to happen. I was like, you don't have to worry about it. I got this. And one of the things, I don't know if some people have seen the DGAB logo we had made in his memory, in his honor. But one of the things that really, it almost got me choked up is his wife and daughter came. I measured their hands because I'm getting them and his mom some special bowling balls to kind of reflect the kind of personality that he had, which was paint splatter, and I'd asked Oakland. I looked at her and I said, Oakland, I'm going to show you a picture. I said, I want you to let me know if you like it or not. And I opened up my phone and I pulled up the file and I showed it. And as she looked at it, and the first thing she said, she goes, Daddy. And your boy about lost it. I really did. Like that hit me pretty hard because it was like she knew, like it wasn't him. It wasn't an actual picture of him, but she knew the details and she knew that was her father. And so another thing I'm really looking forward to is the championship trophy that gets presented to the winner of this tournament. All three of them are going to present it to the winner. And I think that's going to be a really, really cool deal. I really want this to become a staple of AMF Finn Palace Lanes. It's just that important because, again, he loved bowling. He loved bowling more than life itself until his daughter was born. And I just want to keep that. I just want to keep his memory alive. And this is going to be one of those things where it all helps us keep him in our hearts and keep everything going. But definitely May 16th, 17th, 18th are going to be huge. I am like manifesting that right now. Let's see, JMD, how can we make that happen? Well, we are going to make it happen. It's going to be May 16th, 17th, and 18th. We're putting together 3 sweepers. There's going to be a sweeper that Friday night at 6:30, and there's going to be a sweeper at 12 o'clock noon that Saturday. Both of those are going to be handicapped, 90% of 210, 35 pins max handicap. And then Saturday evening at 4 o'clock, it is going to be a 4-game scratch sweeper. And JMD is going to be at AMF Finn Palace Lanes in Huntsville, Alabama. And then our main event, the Derek Tate Memorial Tournament, is going to be that Sunday. We are going to open up the doors planning on opening the doors up at 11, and we're going to start getting registration taken care of then, and we will start the tournament at 12 noon. That's Central Time. So, yes, AMF Finn Palace Lanes in Huntsville, Alabama. So if that's something you guys are interested in, I would love to have each and every one of you. It would just be really cool to see a bunch of people from TikTok that have shown us support and love. And I know Brian has talked about him and his wife coming up from Fort Lauderdale. I know Patrick's talked to us. But another thing about it is it's very important too. That's helping us while I'm running the tournament and making sure everything goes as smooth as possible. Do we have anything else we want to go ahead and, announce for that? Or are we kind of just still putting the pieces together, y'all?
Putting the pieces together for sure. That's going to be a work in progress until it's done. You know what I mean? That's something that's like that. This is a major event. But I would, like Mike said, he's running all the bowling stuff. That's way out of my league, if you will. But I know that Curtis and I, we have things that we're working on, and so I'd say you could expect social media aspect at least that we'll have a featured lane going during the sweepers and things like that, keeping you apprised of the action on here on YouTube, whatever platforms that are rocking at that time, of live commentary, live updates from the tournament director, Coach Michael Price, a lot of things in that sense, and we're working on not to say outside entities. That would fit. It's very important to all of us that this is an event that we have total control over, and we want to make it as big as we can. And as long as things fit in place, who knows what will be added along, So we're finding that out as well. And Curtis has things that he's working on for that as well, which I'll be helping Curtis out. He'll be helping me. We'll be helping everybody. But Curtis, go ahead, bud.
About what?
The tournament.
Curtis is going to be our philanthropist of the weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to be looking into we're going to do some 50-50s. I'm working on some other things with that. We're going to try to raise some money to make a donation in Derek Tate's name to the AMF. What was it, Michael? The
American Melanoma Foundation.
Yes. So while we're doing this to keep the memory of Derek alive, we also want to give back to the community and do something to battle, the thing that.
Yep. Because I mean, there's this stuff's hit close to home twice now. Losing my dad, losing one of my best friends, and it's like the other day, my neighbor told me he's got liver cancer, and he's getting ready to go and start some minimally invasive processes to see if that takes care of it. Point is like I'm tired of the C word. I really am. It's mentally drained me since we lost.
I'm going to use our one for the episode and say cancer fucking sucks.
Yes. Yes, it does. And it just the thing about it is it's like all of the stuff that you go through. And again, if nobody has ever had to go through watching a loved one decline or a friend or a really close friend, it's no fun. And it is mentally and physically exhausting. And I am just glad that that my dad had, his wife and my stepsister at the time to look after him. And, and I'm telling you, like, I can't imagine Rebecca and Barbara, how they had to handle, going back and forth to Vanderbilt. And it's, again, I'm sure that was mentally taxing and exhausting, going back and forth 2 hours, driving 4 hours. Yeah, exactly. Kids. And I mean, it's and the fact is too, it's like the man had 2 craniotomies. And not only that, like he even agreed to do, and what's one of the things I'm really proud of is I am so happy that we got to do the episode 5 of the DGAB podcast with him as our guest, because, it's like I've told people time and again, I can't hear my dad's voice anymore, and I hate it. But I'm so glad that, he was able to tell us his story, and, I can link Rebecca or his mom or Oakland anytime they, especially Oakland, she gets like 10 or 11. I'm like, you can hear your daddy's voice anytime you want. And I think that brings some sort of comfort for it. And that's what I'm all about. It's like finding some sort of comfort in such a difficult time. So, but this tournament is going to be one. I'm going to tell you this: it's not going to go without its hiccup and everything. Because if you've never been a tournament director, you have no freaking clue. You have no freaking clue how there's so many moving parts. So we're making sure that people are going to have their roles, if you will, and where their focuses are going to be. And, we're going to do our best to make sure things things go off with minimum hitches, if you will.
We're going to minimize the hitches.
Exactly. But I'm really, really excited for it. Like this is kind of like the 2025 DGAB moment of the year already that I'm anticipating. And I feel like we're going to have so much to talk about after that.
I like it. I'm here for it. I think it's going to be big. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, I'm excited for it. Excited to be a part of it.
Well, I appreciate the both of you and anybody and everybody else that has messaged me and said, hey, if I can help you in any way, let me know. Look, it's like I said, everybody, if you're coming up here to bowl it, your bowlers first, bowl first. We're going to make sure it goes the best way we possibly can. All right, JMD. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. That's another thing I was talking about when you were gone there for a minute, Dustin. Another thing I'll remind you and Curtis both, y'all could take a look at that and just proofread it for me and make sure that there's no misspellings or anything. And if everything sounds like it makes sense, then cool. But here's the unique thing I'm telling about this too. If we get to 60 or more entries, first place is at least going to make $1,000. And that's just going to be absolutely huge.
That's a question for you there, Mike.
Yeah, I'll wait for you, Michael.
What if my average is not established for over 7 years? Well, here's the thing, JMD. The rules I'm listing right now are going to be the end of this season, and it's going to be the end of last season. So if you don't have anything with those, you will be scratch. It's only going to be 90% of 210 with a 35-pin max handicap. And it's one of those things where here's the thing with me. I got out of running handicap tournaments, and Curtis is going to know exactly where I'm going with this because he has seen it. He has seen it manifest into the worst of the worst and the best of the best. But I got to the point where I got out of running handicap tournaments because, y'all, I got really tired of people trying to buck the system. I didn't say the F word. I said buck, B-U-C-K. I got tired of people trying to buck the system. And I just said I will run scratch, and that will be it. And I kept my word as long as I possibly could. But I know that handicap is a necessary evil.
Well, and there's always an exception to policy. That was a huge thing, too. And this is definitely an exception to policy.
Agreed.
So, yeah.
But let me ask you guys, like y'all on the outside looking in, I know there's a lot of times y'all look and I'll talk about something on the DGAB podcast and you'll be like, I know there's a couple times where you're kind of like, you know, like Dustin specifically will be like, elaborate more. And then I'll have to bring out a couple of examples. Like, do y'all understand from y'all's perspective as the bowlers that y'all are, you know, from more of the recreational side of things? Like, seriously, like, and it's not like, it's not an insult. It's like,
I know it's not, but it's funny. It's funny from the outside right now. It's entertaining. I'd say that much.
Yeah. The league I'm in right now, I have a 189 average, but it's real wood. Like, no, that's fine. As long as you're in a league, you're going to have more than 12 games before May, I would hope, JMD. So, and that's another thing about it, too. Like, if I could access your USBC number and I could verify your average that way, that's fine. But if you can bring a standing sheet down when your leagues are said and done by usually April, like late March, April, May even, we should be good. We should be good. But I have a legitimate question for you two. Like, again, like, you know, because I know that I'm trying to teach you guys some stuff about it. And
what's your question? What's the specific question?
Like, just like how did, like, on the outside looking in, like when I'm explaining things like I am, like if there's a part of it where you're like, I'm not really, like, it's not really adding up in my head, like, you know, why we do things a certain way. That's kind of what I'm asking.
I would hardly say I'm on the outside looking in. I'm kind of on the inside, so I completely understand it.
Yeah. And you know, you stated it yourself. If I have questions, I'm going to ask.
Yeah.
I want it over-explained to me like I'm a dummy.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It's just like, you know, because I know there's a lot of times that I can come off and I'll say something, and I know it makes sense in my head and the way I project it, but I know there's been a couple of times where, it's kind of like it's kind of like Dustin will look at me and go, I'm still not following you. And then we have to go back. And that's kind of what I'm saying. I want to make sure it's kind of like ironclad understood. That's why it's kind of like, what I'm saying. You guys go back and read the rules I've listed. And then
when I step in and simplify the statement.
I don't have it. I appreciate you. It looks good to me. I don't have enough knowledge on the outside to know if it's right or wrong. I'll just be honest. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. No, that's fine. That's totally fine.
As far as tournament rules go and stuff like that, dude, bro, that's not my lane, man.
No.
I wouldn't know what to tell you something. I wouldn't know to say. That's why I looked at Curtis when there's breakdowns to this, that. I'm like, what's he gonna think? Is he good with this or is he not? Because if he's not good with it, then something's up. That when you get into like the weeds real thick like that, and just your experience, because could you even throw a number how many tournaments you've run? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can't tell you how many I have. I've lost.
That's my point, and I've only done a couple in my life, let alone ever run one. So I got no clue on that stuff. So I'll proof it for you, man. But as far as knowing the intricacies of it, I more than trust you.
Zach, if your son is under 18, he is not going to be able to bowl in it because we're paying cash, and I do not want to take a chance on him losing his youth eligibility. I actually, a couple of weeks back with my sweeper, I had 2 kids under 18 try to get into the sweeper, and I had to give them their entry fee back because I don't want them losing. Can we donate it back? I mean, my thing is when I'm running a tournament, like when I pay the money out, people do what they do with what they earn. That's their business. But my thing is, it's like I literally had there was this girl, and Curtis, her, Nicole Gilbert. I had her bowl in one of the adult leagues. This is when Cash League wasn't sanctioned at the time, and all she did was bowl. She bowled 3 games, and Rhonda, association manager, got wind of it, and she tore that limb from limb, and then she made a post about it. It was like, if you are under 18, you cannot bowl in an adult league, whether it's sanctioned or or ain't sanctioned.
She was just subbing. She wasn't even in it. She was just subbing that night.
Yeah, but that was frowned upon, and they are being very particular about that stuff. So I don't want to take a chance on your son losing his youth eligibility. That's just what it is. Because there's going to be a lot of, if this is as big as I'm thinking it's going to be, because I'm manifesting it right now. There's going to be a lot of side pot action. There's going to be brackets. There's going to be the main tournament itself.
And
there's going to be
and a lot of snitches.
Oh, yeah.
That'll see a youth bowling in there, and they will say something.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That's the thing about it now, man. I remember when they banned weight holes back in 2020. And everybody and their brother fought it tooth and nail. They're like, this is stupid. This is the most dumbest thing in the world. It's not fair. It's not fair. Now all of a sudden, here's what I get. Well, they've got a weight hole in their ball. They're not gripping the thumb hole. It's like, you guys hated this 5 years ago. What changed? Who hurt you? Could you also do a youth tournament on a different day and money goes to college grant? I have to get the tournament sanctioned. And right now, with the way it's going right now, I might be able to evolve that into something at some point. That is a wonderful idea to have given us, JMD, and I do appreciate it. So, you know how guys want to talk about this is the Starcade idea? This might potentially at one point be the WrestleMania idea.
It'd be a tough one to get enough kids for WrestleMania one.
No, I'm doing all this. Dude, I love the people. See, it's amazing.
I did not mean to be negative to that at all. A lot of times I can come off like that. Not negative at all, but I think it could be, my first instinct is it could be challenging to have enough kids there for it. You think we could pull one of those off?
I mean, anything is possible. Like this could possibly, anything is possible. And I think, again, it's like as long as you do it, as long as you do it for the right reasons, I think it's kind of like Wayne's World. If you build it, they will come. But no, I love it. See, this is the kind of thing right here. It's like I'm new to this, just ideas. Dude, You're
Great.
giving us ideas, and this is something we take. We are so appreciative of. This is what this is about. So, but anyway, just know right now we're going to have a 3-day event. Also, I left out too those sweeper events I'm running. The winner of those 3 sweeper events are going to get a free entry into the main event tournament on Sunday. I'm way more hooked into youth bowling these days. I definitely try to help. And Zach, I appreciate that, man. I really do. I'd love to have you come out and bowl it, man, if you're able to. That would be great. I think May's going to be great because the weather's going to be warmer and the travel conditions are going to be a lot better. And Curtis will be a lot happier, too. He won't have his blue blanket on.
Oh, yeah, I hate the cold. I am completely miserable right now.
You need to eat and you're cold.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's a double whammy right there.
I'm cold, I'm hungry, I'm sleepy, and I have to use the bathroom.
Well, it is getting late. It's 1:45. So our main thing was us doing the show again. So I think we've done that. I think we could go ahead and we'll throw out last call, I think. Anybody watching's got any questions for us, anything like that. So we covered most of the stuff. But poor Curtis did work all day and then it came right into this, which again, dude, really do appreciate it.
We got some beard envy going on in the comments right now.
Thank you too much. Thank you. This thing gets tucked in my shirt sometimes. And now when I watch TV, dude, I'll tuck it into my beard because it gets in the way. I'm watching the TV with this view. So I tuck it into the beard.
Don't you guys agree? This is like the picture of the year right here for DGAB. Already. Picture of the year nominee.
I'm going to egg your house.
I was
that should
thinking, Michael, retaliation's a real thing, bud.
That's fine.
I'm saying that should mean something because with how expensive eggs are right now, I'm going to egg your house.
That's okay. I'll just try to catch them and give them to my mom because she likes eggs.
Throw them this way.
Yeah. Don't break. Don't break. No, seriously. This right here, this is a work of art.
I'm going to start asking if you're a dip every time I see you now.
I did dip once. I swallowed it by mistake and threw up everywhere and haven't touched it since.
Haven't touched it since.
We'll get you on the Copenhagen. It's good for you.
Yeah, there you go. There's one of me.
You look like you're on Dateline, dude. Damn, what did you just blow up?
That was me after I shot 300.
Were you pissed off? You shot 300?
No, I was just that was during Curtis. That was during the 21-22 season.
You got to lower your head so we can see. Oh my gosh, dude! And plus that shirt, if you cover Bowling World, it looks like an orange jumpsuit. That's definitely it. You did not have a good day in court.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh man, I can't do the wintergreen. I do Copenhagen long cut gold top.
There you go. I'll give you another one to poke fun at.
It's not a bad one.
No, it's not bad one at all.
Plus, it looks like you're doing stuff.
I was looking in the computer at this point.
And again, that's just that's Harry behind you. It's Harry Beaver behind you.
Yes, it is.
You didn't say.
Yep. Let's see. Oh, so if anybody hasn't seen the Derek DGAB logo, I'm going to go ahead and put that up here right now.
I love that. I love that so much.
I mean, like I said, his daughter knew it was him right there, man. So I was like, this is a home run. And I also got all their blessings to use it. So, and I'm still waiting, but I know a friend of mine's going to have a T-shirt made for me. So I'm waiting on that right now. And, I'm thinking we're going to work towards something like trying to get her to do like a little run of some just some regular T-shirts, nothing fancy, just with this logo and that in memory of on the back and such. I just think it's gonna be really cool, and it's probably gonna be in like highlighter yellow, because if anybody knew Derek like they did, he's all about bright colors, bright and vibrant colors.
Yeah, I love that one.
I like how I like how she got the red in here. It's like the attention to detail is it's awesome.
It's the eyes and the focus that I love from that. It's just like, dude, bring it on. I don't care what leave I have in life. I'm throwing at it.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I mean?
So, but this will be attached to all the flyers. They'll see that on the front. But, you sent me your email, JMD. I will make sure to get a copy emailed to you. And I think here in the next, maybe week, we're going to put the flyer out and we're going to start mass advertising it already in January, and that gives us 3.5 months worth of promotion.
We'll get a good digital flyer too, and we can be blasting it all over the place.
Absolutely. Yeah, and the bowling sleeve. Yep, everybody knew that Derek was all about them bowling sleeves too, man. The cool thing about this here with the bowling ball, there's a reason we went with this color scheme. There was a bowling ball that came out in 2015 called the Ebonite Legacy. Look, lawyers in here too, like lawyers. Like he had an Ebonite as a ball called the Ebonite Legacy, and it was this exact color scheme right here. Yep. See, I knew he knew it because lawyer had one of those too. But that was his favorite bowling ball ever, and the name in itself, it kind of represented it. It represented him, his mom, and his grandmother. So that he was really, really he was so proud of that ball. And I remember when I drilled it for him, like he was so excited to get it. And again, like I said, man, I miss my friend. I miss my buddy. I miss my brother.
Well, we're doing a big legacy tournament for him in May. So,
yep. Which I know Lawyer's back in here now. Lawyer's going to be a part of this. I want to talk this week as well. Yeah, no, absolutely, Brian. I'll try to get back on here. And like I said, you message me and let me know what's up. And because like I said, Brian was one of the first ones to reach out to me and say, hey, me and my wife we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make a road trip up there, or we're gonna fly up there, or whatever the case may be. But just the idea that there's so much support from all the people here on TikTok about this, it warms the heart. It warms my heart very much. All right, Curtis, come on. Closing. Are we doing closing comments? What are we doing?
yeah.
I didn't even get to go on the second rant, which we can save that for next time.
No, we didn't get the second rant or Wide World of Sports, but it's almost one. So good stuff for the next one. I think that we're going to be back with this every other Thursday. That's what we've agreed on, guys.
I think so, yep.
We'll shove a sandwich in Curtis's face next time on his way to the camera. So he's at least got a little bit of food in him. And again, Curtis, thanks for joining us, buddy, because I know you're hurting, man. Mike, thank you for doing this. Everything that you do, all these people that are here, it's because we love you, man. So we're all very excited about May. Yeah. I wish I could.
Thank y'all. See, that's another thing I want to close my little closing thoughts on, okay? So Victor Cortez, who's been a very big supporter of the brand as well, and everybody knows Victor here on TikTok. When we were doing the behind the scene live before our 1 year anniversary show, he made a very good point that made me think about stuff. Have you ever thought about this where somebody pays you a compliment and you just kind of shake it off? You're like, no, it's nothing, it's no problem, no big deal. Well, he kind of did that one and the same. And he talked about, he's like, Mike, I'm going to a therapist. He goes, and I feel so much better about it. And he made the comment, he said, that same thing that we just said about, like deflecting compliments is what his therapist called it. She basically said to him, but do you realize that that's very narcissistic of you? And he's like, what do you mean? It's like you're deflecting the compliment because you're wanting more and more and more people to say and reinforce that. You don't want to just take that visibly, that one good compliment that somebody was legitimately and genuine about. And it really got me thinking. I've done that a lot. So if anything, like I said, what you guys said, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. And it's not egotistical to accept a compliment when people are sincere and genuine about it. So thank you both. I appreciate that. Everybody on here, I hope you all know that this is my life, okay? Like bowling is my life. No matter how much I say, no matter how many times me and Curtis both may say we freaking despise it some days, again, I've met a lot of great people through bowling, and Curtis was one of the first ones I met after the Parkway fire. So, if the fire doesn't happen, I may never have met Curtis. And then if I never met Curtis, that relegates into maybe I never would have met you, Dustin. So things happen for a reason is my point behind that. And I'm appreciative, and I go back to the motto I started last year with us, Dustin, when we did that one show with just you and me. 1% better every day. That's the goal.
That adds up. But
and if you say that 1,000 times, that's 1,000% better.
But no, you're absolutely correct, man. And I think that's a good way to end it, because we're all here for it, man. Doesn't matter. I would say again, not to stir up the TikTok thing again, but just my point is, whether it's this, that, whether it's YouTube, whether it's this, that, or the other, we're gonna do what we do. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter in what. We're still going to continue to do what we do for each other and for everybody out there. So yeah, on behalf of DGAB, I'll speak to this. Just say that we're so grateful. You don't even know, man, because we do spend a lot of time on this stuff that you don't see. So it means a lot to all of us. Curtis, we will leave the final note with you, my friend.
Please.
The final note.
Yes.
Yep.
My final thoughts.
Yep.
I am just happy to finally be seen. That's my biggest takeaway from all this. I don't like being in front of the camera, but we did the first one, and you guys were so animated and got to see your smiles and all that stuff. I'm like, I gotta get on here so I can be seen too. So it was really nice to do this and be actually a part of it.
Staying with the genuine theme, I'm being genuine when I say I much prefer you when you are with us on the podcast rather than behind. Even if, as long as you're there, I'm good with that. Because we've had to do a couple of times when you're working, you just can't be there. As long as you're there, but I prefer you in front of the camera with us, my friend.
And just think, Curtis, you are now synonymous with Dad Jokes reactions. You're welcome.
Yeah, that picture's going to be on a t-shirt one day. You know, I'll do it because I made one of myself.
That might be like the one on the t-shirt, and on the back it says, for 5 cents a day.
You can continue the dad jokes.
Yes. Support the cause.
All right. Well, Curtis, go nourish yourself, man. Michael, do what you got to do, brother. Thank you for having us on. Guys, thanks for the time. Thank you for joining us. And
we will. Somebody tell me the day. I can't look at it. It's on my phone. What's actually today? Like, what was Thursday? Not today, Friday.
The 16th.
Okay, so that means we're going to be back for Damn Good After Dark on January 30th, correct? Every other. Okay. Hey, JMD said he followed all of us. So, JMD, thank you so much for your follow.
Very much. And I will follow you back as soon as we're.
Yep. And we will be back on January 30th for episode 2 of Damn Good After Dark at 11 o'clock Central Time, because Curtis works and closes the bowling center.
Yay.
Podcast on the 25th.
Yes. And Damn Good Average Bowler podcast, episode 14.
2-1.
Yeah, 14.
Yes, Michael McAnally.
The 4th Damn Good Average Bowler members only invitational tournament champion.
That's going to be fun having him on there. I'm excited for that.
He's going to be so nervous. He's like, you know, guys.
I talked to him yesterday, and he said it's going to be awkward. He said, I'm going to be awkward.
No, I got him, man.
He's not going to be awkward because Dustin's going to do the pre-interview, and it's like taking pre-workout when you do the pre-interview with Dustin.
Yeah, I got you covered. I got him taken care of, man, or I wouldn't want him on the whole time. It's going to be a blast.
It's going to be huge.
Huge.
Yeah, so before we get off here, too, JMD, here's all the social media outlets you can follow Damn Good Average Bowler on. Obviously, like, follow, subscribe here. And also, I'm on Lemon 8, same avatar as on here. YouTube channel, give us a subscribe. You've already done that, I think you said. That's great. Thank you so much. Facebook, you can like and follow the Damn Good Average Bowler Facebook page. We're also on Instagram, same damn.good.average.bowler. Come check us out on all that for all the good stuff. And I think that's a wrap, y'all.
It is.
That is? Okay.
Good one. I like it.
You guys have a wonderful evening. Curtis, go nourish yourself. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody out there. And as our good friend Stephanie says, we'll catch you on the flippity flip.
That's what I was waiting for.
Later, guys.